Coffee Break German, Season 3, Episode 3. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Coffee Break German. Ich bin Marc.
Und ich bin Andrea.
Wie geht's dir heute, Andrea?
Mir geht es sehr, sehr gut. Danke, Marc. Und dir?
Ja, mir geht es auch sehr gut. Und ich bin natürlich froh, dass wir noch einmal hier ins Studio sind.
Marc, sehr interessant. Why did you say ins Studio?
Because I picked that one out of my head. I wasn't quite sure which one it would be, so I kind of thought, we'll try ins, but obviously I didn't get that right.
Okay, so obviously I understand what you're saying, but grammatically speaking, there is room for improvement in this sentence.
That's very kind of you to say room for improvement. It was wrong, Andrea.
So, but let's look at when we use ins and im.
Okay.
So I will remind. So now people can imagine how I dance. Okay.
Yeah.
So ich tanze im Studio.
Yes, you're dancing in the studio.
Ja, so the door is closed and I'm in the studio dancing.
Yeah.
Und ich tanze ins Studio. So I dance from the corridor into the studio.
Into the studio, yeah, of course. Okay, so im Studio would, of course, be using the dative, where we are already in the studio. And, of course, I said, dass wir im Studio sind, that we are in the studio, yeah, rather than we're dancing into the studio. Yeah, I should have got that right, Andrea. I'm sorry, es tut mir leid.
It's okay, Mark. It's okay.
The fact is, I'm the learner here, like all of our listeners, so hopefully it's okay for me to make mistakes because Andrea can, of course, help us with these mistakes and help us to improve our German. Andrea, what's coming up in this lesson?
Today we're going to look at a couple of pronouns. The pronouns are welche, etc. and diese, dieser, with the respective cases.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be nice because in the previous episode, we looked at der, die, das.
Yep.
So we can build upon what we did the last time.
Excellent. Right. So, I think we should get started. It sounds as if we're ready to begin. Also, bist du bereit?
Ich bin bereit.
Los geht's. Okay, Andrea, tell me more about welche and diese.
Yes, as I said before, they are pronouns. And welche oder welches, they ask which one.
Mm-hmm. And is that which one of a collection? Is it asking?
Yes.
You know, is there a range here?
Exactly. So in front of you there are 5 T-shirts in different colors, and I would ask you, welches findest du am schönsten?
Right. So which one do you like best? And you've said welches there because it's das T-shirt, yeah?
Das T-shirt, yeah.
Okay.
Genau. Okay. And then you could obviously say das Rote, das Grüne, etc. Yeah. Or you could point at one and say dieses.
Right. Again, dieses using the das form there, the neuter form. So welches and dieses.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want some more examples?
I think that's always good, yeah.
So another example would be, welche Banane isst du?
Which banana are you eating?
Yes.
That's
there
funny.
are many.
I've just eaten a banana for lunch, and I chose diese, this one.
Yes, very good. So it's die Banane.
Yeah.
That's why I asked welche Banane and you said diese.
Yep. Okay. And can you give us an example with a masculine noun?
For example, ich suche meinen Stift and you ask.
So you're looking for your pen, correct?
Ja, das ist richtig.
So you've said ich suche meinen Stift. It's accusative, masculine accusative. So would I say welchen?
Ja, das ist richtig. Sehr, sehr gut. Super. Ja, welchen?
So which one? Welchen?
Aha. And then I see it or it's lying there on the table and I say? diesen hier oder diesen.
Right, so diesen meaning this one, and in English we say this one and which one to make them pronouns. In German we can just use the word diesen and welchen, yeah?
Genau, das ist richtig, ja?
Can I just ask then, if we're looking at, you said, ich suche meinen Stift, I'm looking for my pen. If I were to say which pen, in that situation in English, which is no longer a pronoun. It's not which one, it's which pen, therefore it's an adjective. Do we still need to use the same form in German?
Yes, it would then be welchen Stift? And I could reply with diesen Stift.
Okay, so the same words are used for the pronouns and for the adjective forms.
Yes.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Phew. Excellent. Okay, let's focus on the pronouns. And we've seen that they are changing both with the gender of the noun that they're replacing, but also the case, I'm guessing.
Yes, absolutely. So it's also how many there are, obviously.
Yes, of course. So
if
plural
I
as
look
well.
for two Stifte, then it all changes, yeah?
Yeah, just in case we thought it was too easy.
So it's just like the changes we see in articles. So we have the endings that change.
Yeah.
Shall we maybe look at this in the different cases?
Yeah, I think that would make sense. What's the best way to do it? Do we go through all the nominative ones, all the accusative ones, and all the dative ones like that? Yeah, okay, let's do that.
So if we look at masculine singular, that would be der, yeah, in the nominative, and it's welcher.
Welcher, okay, so ending in er, yep.
And mit dieser, it's dieser, so it's welcher und dieser.
Okay, makes sense.
And then feminine singular, die is welche.
Okay, so taking that E ending, the letter E ending from die and using that with welche, and would it be diese then?
Yes, exactly, super.
Okay.
And the neuter singular is das, so we take the S, and it's welches.
Welches, okay, welches, and dieses presumably?
Genau, richtig. And plural is die again, so we use the E at the end, and it's welche.
Welche. Okay, and diese. So the nominative ones are welcher, welche, and welches, and then the plural is always welche.
Genau, das ist richtig.
Okay.
Ja?
What about accusative then?
Accusative. So we have den for masculine singular, and this is reflected also in the pronoun. So it's welchen.
Welchen, okay. These do seem quite regular in the sense that we're seeing the same patterns.
Yes, yes. And so for diese, it's diesen.
Diesen.
So welchen? Diesen.
Okay. And if we're following the same rules for the other accusative articles, then would it just go on with welche and welches for the feminine and the neuter?
Yes.
And then the plural welche?
Yes, because it's only the masculine singular that actually has a change in the accusative.
Yeah, so the definite article goes from der to den. And so we have that same pattern with the accusative for welchen and diesen.
Exactly. So we have welchen, welche, welches, welche, diesen, diese, dieses, diese.
Okay, so using this same pattern, can I guess the dative ones?
Absolutely.
Can I suggest then it would be welchem?
Ja, genau, sehr gut.
Okay, so I'm thinking of dem, and then the feminine version of dem would be der, so welcher.
Ja.
Then the neuter version is also dem, so back to welchem.
Genau richtig.
And the plural, I think, is den.
Ja, das ist richtig.
So welchen again.
Ja, super. Ja.
And presumably we have diesem, dieser, diesem, and diesen.
Ja, das ist richtig. Genau.
Okay.
So I'll give you maybe an example with the dative so that listeners can have an idea of when this would come up.
Okay.
So we use it with the preposition mit. We know mit requires a dative. Mit welchem Auto fährst du heute zu deinem Schloss? Mit diesem.
So with which car are you traveling to your castle today?
Ja, genau.
Often something that someone asks me.
Yeah.
Mit diesem, with this one.
Genau, sehr
Okay,
gut, bravo.
so it's das Auto. And then if that's going into the dative case because of the mit, then we change the welche or the welches, which it would be in the nominative, to welchem. Mit welchem Auto fährst du heute zu deinem Schloss? Mit diesem, with this one.
Genau, sehr gut. And now I'll give you an example with an accusative.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Auf welchen Salat hast du heute Lust? Auf diesen.
Right, so Lust haben is to desire something, to fancy something. So literally, of which or towards which salad do you have desire today? Which salad do you fancy today? Auf diesen, this one. And we're seeing welchen and diesen there because those are the accusative endings and we need the accusative with auf.
That's not completely correct, Mark. Auf could go with the dative, but not here because Lust haben auf always requires an accusative.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. I think maybe what would be good is if we could hear more of these in a conversation. And it just so happens we've got a conversation prepared for you now. And we're going to have a listen to this just after the break.
In addition to the podcast version of Coffee Break German Season 3, we're also putting together a full course on the Coffee Break Academy, where you'll be able to access bonus materials to help you make even better progress with your German.
That's right. Not only will you be able to enjoy an ad-free audio version of each lesson, we'll also provide a bonus episode where Andrea will be testing us with some translation challenges based on the topic of each lesson. And of course, there are comprehensive notes and a video version of each lesson too. Visit coffeebreakgerman.com and follow the links for Season 3 there. Okay, so today we're looking at the pronouns welcher and dieser and the way they work in all the different cases and genders.
Ja, das ist korrekt. And this dialogue is very, very good, okay, because it takes place in Zurich. And the Zurich tourist guide is amazing. Sehr sympathisch.
Right, okay. You've prepared us here for something, Andrea. I've got a feeling I might be able to guess who's playing the tourist guide in this conversation. Let's have a listen. So we're in the city of Zurich and we are following a guided tour. Let's take a listen to our conversation.
So, meine Damen und Herren, herzlich willkommen in dieser wunderbaren Stadt. Wir beginnen unsere Tour in dieser Bäckerei neben der Universität. Wer weiß, welches Gebäck die Schweizer am liebsten frühstücken?
Ich. Es ist das Gipfeli.
Genau richtig. In Deutschland nennt man das Croissant. So, und wer weiß, welcher Fluss durch Zürich fließt?
Das ist die Limmat.
Ist das dieser Fluss hier auf der Karte?
Welcher? Nein, du schaust auf der falschen Karte. Nimm mal diese hier.
Wir stehen hier am Hafen von Zürich. Auf dieser Seite der Brücke sehen Sie den Zürichsee. Diese Schiffe fahren im Sommer mehrmals täglich. Dieses hier ist ein Dampfschiff. Es ist das einzige Dampfschiff der Flotte.
Und mit welchem Schiff machen wir später eine Rundfahrt?
Mit diesem hier, mit der Pantarei. Es ist sehr modern und hat einen starken Motor. Weiß jemand, wie dieses schöne Gebäude dort drüben heißt?
Welches? Das Weiße? Ist das nicht das Parlament?
Nein, leider nicht. Die Stadtregierung trifft sich in diesem Gebäude dort am Fluss. Das weiße Gebäude ist das Opernhaus. Jetzt fahren wir ein Stück mit der Straßenbahn. Sie haben alle eine Fahrkarte erhalten. Mit dieser haben Sie die Möglichkeit, 24 Stunden mit allen Verkehrsmitteln in der Stadt zu fahren.
Ist es diese hier, Katrin?
Nein, das ist eine Zimmerschlüsselkarte für die Unterkunft. Mit dieser kommst du in der Straßenbahn nicht sehr weit.
Welche denn?
Hier, bitte. Diese hier, Heinz. Also diese Sauberkeit ist hier schon sehr beeindruckend. Das muss ja immer eine Putzerei sein.
Andrea, I think you turned up the Swissometer a little bit there.
A little bit, yes. A spitzeli, as we say.
Okay, a spitzeli. Now, we should, just to be absolutely clear, you're still speaking in German. You're not speaking in Swiss German, but just a little bit of a Swiss German accent there.
That's right, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we will go through this in detail in our bonus episode, but for now, can you give us a little bit of a summary as to what's going on here?
Yes, so this lovely travel guide is in Zurich with a group, and two members of this group are Heinz and Katrin, and they're talking about the river, the lake, ships, and how they will later go on a trip across the lake with a modern ship, the Pantarei.
The Pantarei, yeah, I heard that.
It exists, actually.
Oh, does it? Oh, excellent.
They walked past the opera house, and then they take the tram to the restaurant where they will have lunch. And throughout the dialogue, couple Heinz and Katrin ask questions and make comments. And Katrin is particularly impressed by how clean the trams are in Zurich.
I see. So just at the end there, they got on the tram and we heard Katrin seemingly quite impressed with the cleanliness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also, I think I picked up that Heinz was a bit confused about his tram ticket. He thought it was the hotel room key or something like that.
Yes. So he thought he could travel with the hotel room key, but yeah, Katrin said he wouldn't get very far with this.
Indeed. Not with that one. Okay. That's where we're going to leave this episode. As I say,
Hold on, Mark. I think you've forgotten something.
Oh, yes. What is it? We've forgotten.
We have eine Kleinigkeit.
Also, take it away.
So, the Kleinigkeit today ist ein Trittbrettfahrer sein.
Right, so some kind of traveler of some kind?
Yes, exactly. So the Trittbrett is on an old vehicle like a train or a tram or a bus. The thing that you would step on to get on or off the vehicle.
Right, so I guess it's kind of like a step, maybe called a footplate or something like that, a running board.
Something like this, yeah.
Okay.
And you could jump on it, and while the vehicle was already moving, and then travel for free without buying a ticket.
So does Trittbrettfahrer sein mean that you're traveling for free? I thought that was like Schwarzfahren.
Yeah, Schwarzfahren is Schwarzfahren is different because you can do Schwarzfahren when you're in the vehicle and you just don't have a ticket.
Okay.
But Trittbrettfahrer means that you just jump on and you jump off before there are any consequences.
Right,
and
okay.
The idea is that you take other people's ideas and you use this for your own benefit. So you're but you're not really paying for it.
Right. Can you give us an example of this?
Yeah, zum Beispiel, so there's Thomas and he set a new trend. He was very, very cool. Yeah, he started wearing yellow trousers.
Okay.
Yes, very, very trendy. And Thomas trägt seit Wochen gelbe Hosen.
Right.
Ja. Und Peter findet gelbe Hosen hässlich, aber er macht das jetzt auch. Er ist ein Trittbrettfahrer.
So, Thomas is wearing these yellow trousers and has been doing so for a couple of weeks. And Peter doesn't like yellow trousers, but he's wearing them anyway because he's a bit of a copycat, I guess.
Yes. Okay. He realized that these yellow trousers go down well with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. And he thinks, I'll do that too.
Okay. Tritt, Brett, Fahrer. Okay, excellent. Well, that really is where we are going to have to leave this episode of the Coffee Break German Season 3 podcast. We hope that you have enjoyed it. And of course, if you'd like more, you can find all you need to know at coffeebreakgerman.com. We have got a bonus episode of the show where we're going to go through the conversation in detail. And we've also got some translation challenges for you. All of that is over on the Coffee Break Academy if you've already got access to it. So we'll see you there. If not, just head to coffeebreakgerman.com for all the information. Bis zum nächsten Mal.
Bis bald.
You have been listening to a Coffee Break Languages production for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2021 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2021 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.